Ed, what have you done?
Welcome to the Everton Daily Live Extra. Before I start, I want to wish Teresa a very happy birthday. John Blaine's better half. Teresa, it's her birthday today. It's a lovely day for it, so have a great day. One man who might be having a great day is Ellis Sims, who looks like he is about to become a Sky Blue. Joined Coventry City for 8 million, well, up to £8 million. I think it's around 6.5 or something, and with add-ons it'll be 8 or whatever. So we knew this was going to happen. It was just which club we're going to take the plunge. It is Coventry. Swansea have been priced out of it apparently. Good move for him.
Yeah, I think it's a good move for him because he'll start there. They're not a bad side. They need to replace the goals that they're going to lose. With him leaving. And I think they've got that like one opportunity, I think, to keep the momentum going from what they did last season.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for them with 3 big clubs coming down. And I think they like the emergence of people like Middlesbrough as well. Probably going to have a good season after having a good back end of the season, but not being able to get over the line. I think he just needs to get on with his career, isn't he? You know, he's at an age now where he's not a 17-year-old kid with huge prospects. He's what, 21, 22. So he needs to get on with his career, and it's decent money for Everton up front. I imagine that will help. If we need to put money towards someone this summer, which obviously we will do. So if it ever gets to £8 million, then that'll be good. But
I think the first target's a soft one, so it's like appearances. Obviously, the other one, I don't know what the other one is, but you know, it's a decent bit of money for someone who obviously the manager has decided isn't going to be too close to the first team, as in he's not pushing him to be in the starting 11. Everton obviously had a period of time last season with no strikers. Damari Gray was preferred to him up front, as was Neil Maupay, despite Maupay not getting on the pitch for a few games. All of a sudden was in the starting 11 and Sims wasn't. So that was probably an early indicator for us that, you know, maybe he wasn't as...
No, he's not good enough.
Right now.
I think people have just got to understand that. I think this is the difference between being desperate for a player and actually someone being actually good enough.
Yeah.
And he's not good enough. I know, listen, he come on and he scored the goal against Chelsea and facts, he hasn't played enough football at any level consistently to get to that level that he needs to be. And I think for his age, he's underdeveloped as a footballer. Physically, he looks the part and everything.
Yeah.
He needs to play a lot of games. Maybe, hopefully, there's a clause in there. I doubt it, but that will maybe allow Everton to get him back one day if he ever gets to that level. But he's simply not good enough. And I think sometimes as fans, and we all do it, we see something, we want it. Players get better by not playing. Why aren't you giving him a go? The old I don't tell. Why aren't you giving him an opportunity?
Yeah.
But the people at the football club are paid to make these decisions, and when a good offer comes in for a player, you've got to know when is the best time to take it. You know, yesterday we were talking about a 17-year-old kid, where I personally don't agree that's the best time to sell a footballer. That to me screams absolute desperation. But on this one, I think it is the right thing to do. Let a player go. The same with Nathan Broadhead, do you know what I mean? Nathan Broadhead was exactly the same. You know, it got to a point where it was that year where Everton had signed him up for another year or a couple of years, and they got the money for him. And rather than them sticking around for another year and another year, you've got to know when to make that decision.
Absolutely. And you know, if you're trying to trim a squad, not trim a squad because the squad isn't exactly huge, but if you can get rid of players who aren't going to be part of your thinking for money, then that's what you have to do, don't you? And it seems that that's exactly
I've got no problem.
Where Everton are.
I've got no problem with selling players who come through at that age rather than hanging on to them. It's something that we've criticised the club for in the past, of hanging on till they get a point where they've gone past what their their market value is.
Yeah,
because the age and everything. So good luck to him. Good luck to him.
Yeah, fair play to him. Fair play, and it enables Everton to have a little bit more money coming in the coffers, which will hopefully loosen things up. Rod still talking Rodrigo over the week. Some people going with over the weekend that Everton may well do that. And then I'll ask you in a minute, John, because I didn't read very well there. But Everton need to kickstart this on, don't they? Obviously, players started reporting back yesterday for testing. There's more due back today, and then it'll be a trickle effect with some who've obviously had longer off because of international football. They didn't finish late. So therefore, we do have to get on with it. Off to Switzerland next
our
week.
First friendly's next Friday, and I know it's something more just like a
end of week
scratch game, isn't it? Sort
yeah.
of than anything else. Something to look forward to by the end of the week. But Everton have to get the numbers in because everyone else is. Simple as that. We're going to be left behind again. And it's, it's great. It's great sitting.
I mean, I was told last night that they're targeting 6 or 7 players.
Yeah, I have no.
So therefore, and that's what we kind of said that figure.
We're going to need 6 or 7 players.
But we're going to need them anyway. But what we need is 6 or 7 players who can push to get in the team, not 6 or 7 players. No Vinagres.
There's actually nothing wrong with having a small squad if every single one of them can do something. Yeah. Forget your Vinagres and these placeholders and having this kid and that kid. Yeah. Every single one's got to be able to serve a purpose. Yeah. And if that means you've got James Garner who can play in 3 different positions, then that's what you need. You've got to have that players who can come in and there's not that great drop off in quality, or the manager's just scared to play them, and then you shuffle Ben Godfrey to left back, or you put Mason Holgate at right back. You've got to have players who can play a couple of different positions, but are ready to go.
Absolutely. Balance as well, isn't it? I mean, the manager's talked nothing but balance since he come in about. It's an unbalanced squad. It's this, it's that. And he's right. Whatever else Sean Dyche is, he understands about a squad and can look at it and go, we haven't got enough players there and we haven't got enough players. Because we say it as fans, don't we? We look as fans and go, we've got 1 left back.
Yeah.
We've got 1. And one's gone back who was never given a go anyway, and he was injured. And we're selling the prospect that who might have come through. Well, he's going as well, so we really have only got 1 left back at the moment. Yeah, Eli Campbell, who is more of a centre back for the 21s, can play left back, but he needs a loan if he's going to be a player who is even looked at, and whether he's good enough or not. He's got some decent attributes, but I don't know. But he would have to go on loan. He can't be going to this kid. Oh well, you're our second choice, so we're gonna need that, aren't we? The forward players we need. Absolutely, we do. And don't forget, there's still a big question mark over Damari Gray. Yeah. Is he going to be here? Is he going? I imagine if Everton get an offer of what they're talking about, certainly upwards of 15 million, say, I think Everton will sell. Because why wouldn't you? 27 a year. I know there's an extra option for a year, but he's 27. He's in the final year of his first contract, if you like. Everton get that kind of money, they may well pull the trigger on that one and get him out. Especially if Dyche looks at him and goes, it's not really not my cup of tea. But this fella will be, and he can go there and there. So I'm thinking just off like Jack Harrison. I'm not saying he's amazing before anyone jumps in, but Jack Harrison can fill 2 positions and smacks to me of a Sean Dyche up and down all day long, work hard, battle for you. You know what you're kind of getting off him, and he has those moments of quality which we've seen even when he was at New York City all those years ago. He has got that bit of quality in him. Is he more consistent than Damari Gray? Or do you know what you're getting out of Jack Harrison more than Damari Gray? And if Sean Dyche gets to the end of that thought process in his head with Kevin Thelwell, and they go, yeah, he is, then Gray will go and maybe Harrison will come in or something like that. And they'll probably be the things that they're doing together with the squad. If we get rid of him, can we get him? Is he going to be more consistent than this one? Right, let's move them about. Rob says, where's the Sims money, Bill? Well, it'll probably be going in the bank soon, Rob. Alban Blade says, good morning or afternoon. Watching from Bradenton, Florida. Love the show. Nice. Hopefully some new signings to discuss shortly. Hello, Alban. good morning. What is it, 10 past 8 where you are? So good morning to you. It's good afternoon to us, obviously. Got a little bit of Florida-style weather today. It's very warm outside. It's not quite your levels, but it is nice. It's a lovely sunny afternoon here in Liverpool. McFlynn says hello. Hello to Oliver. Liam Dunn. I don't know how to take this, Liam. A drop of milk in a mushroom cup of soup is the biggest revelation since super noodles and white bread.
No.
I've got nothing to add to that, Liam. I'll take your word for it.
No. Nightmare for you, that.
Nathan's watching all the way from the desert in the West Australian outback. Good on you, lads.
Why?
Because
Nathan's
from there.
No, is he from there?
Nathan sent us videos, Nathan.
Oh, he's from
the Premier.
Oh, Alex Springs, yeah.
He knows the script. G'day, Nathan. See? Even though it'll be good evening.
Weird the way you know the language.
I know the language. Yeah. I'm fluent in Australian.
Yeah.
Ripper.
It's all those Crocodile Dundee films.
It is. Well, I told you I'm watching Deadlock at the moment, and that's full on Australian. It's hilarious. Daniel says it's good business for Ellis Sims. Stu says, hopefully we can get our own incomings, money from Gordon, Keane, Sims, and the lad going to Chelsea. Well, Gordon and Moyes Keane will be in last year's accounts, aren't they? I don't know how that quite works, but that's where they are. But yeah, hopefully it'll kick us on a little bit now. Jay says, afternoon, lads. Was just about to get dragged shopping until you lads popped up and saved the day. Keep up the good work.
How does that work?
How have you got out of shopping just because we're on? Fair play to you.
Yeah,
fair play to you.
I don't understand. Talking back to us.
Yeah. Ganny Mead 7 says, why are we sending Sims to Coventry? Because we don't want him, essentially. AC says, good evening, gents. Quick, hit the like button before you forget. Yeah, smash the button, I think. I mean, you haven't seen Eugene yet. Eugene's normally there with the instruction. Not seeing him just yet. But smash the like button, subscribe, go and subscribe to More Than a Game. There you go. There's your 3 call to actions done. Gareth says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Almost a weekend. So all is good, apart from no business done for us. Andy Lonergan signed yesterday. What more do you want?
I can't think of anything more I'd want in life.
There you go.
Andy Lonergan.
He will become Everton's oldest player for 70 years, someone said. But I don't know, because wasn't Nigel Martin 40 when he was our goalie as well? We'll see. Daniel says we need the ruthlessness to continue with players. Goodbye, Michael Keane. Beard says strong rumours St Maximus going to Everton for 35 million.
That is never happening.
Can't see that happening, mate.
It can be as strong as it wants. It ain't happening.
Yeah. Dixon Sider says thought Sims was going Coventry. He is going Coventry. He's in Coventry, isn't he? Right now, having his medical. Real Tours says, bar Rooney, who do you think is the best player we've brought through the ranks in the Premier League era? Good question. I'm going to say Ross Barkley.
Yeah, Ross. Played.
Jack Rodwell?
No, he's played his entire career, hasn't he? And
yeah, I mean, that potential.
Pretty much the Premier League, apart
from Barkley, he's had. Yeah,
played for England, went to played in the World Cup.
Yeah, played abroad.
Wouldn't it? There's no one else.
There's no one else, yeah. He's the second most
Bally could have been, but
well, he's not, because John Stones as well overtook him, but yeah.
Ball's knee injury stopped him, didn't he?
Yeah.
From being a top player.
But he did play abroad and won stuff with Rangers, so Michael Ball, yeah, he was a good one. Yeah. Wormy Spoon says Stones. No, but Stones was bought in money.
He didn't come through.
Blues says Barkley's pretty much the only other option after Rooney. Jordan says, hey guys, are you at all positive about the upcoming season? And would you personally give Delhi a go? And smash the like button. Much love from Bulgaria. I am positive about the season because it's the summer. Why wouldn't we be? It's sunny. I've just got Zach. I've just got Zach his kit, and with the blue socks, the kit looks immense. Everton should definitely have blue socks as the home kit.
Should have hope. Like.
I think, to be honest, you've got to be positive. Because, yes, you do. You do, because then otherwise you're burnt out before the season even starts. I'm positive that if we get the players we need, we'll be nowhere near a relegation battle this season with the manager. I think the manager's experienced enough, and I think Everton have got enough decent players to steer clear of any kind of trouble. That is dependent on the forward players, though. They do have to get forward players in and people who can score goals. They've got to. But I think Dyche has got a lot of experience in that.
You wanted Dyche sacked?
I don't want him sacked.
You wanted him sacked.
I didn't want him here. I didn't want him here in the first place. But he's come in and he's done. He's done
over my dead body.
Yeah, sounds like something I'd say. And you were stood there with a spoon, is that what you were saying? Or was that just for now?
That was me. With the bed.
I think Everton will be all right. I do. Gary says if a player's not going to play in the first team, then they may as well go. But we need to make sure we replace and have a decent bench. Absolutely. Steve Begg says, I thought we were buying the striker from Coventry. Only Everton. No. Paul says, evening Baz and Ped, hope you're both good. Do you think we'll sign Nonto this weekend? Who knows? Is the answer to that. There's stuff going on all the time. Things present themselves all the time. That rumour continues to be bounced around, doesn't it? And coming from Italy, obviously he's Italian. Who knows? I think Rodrigo seems a more likely one at the moment. But we'll see. Demahis from Halewood says, hello from Rhodes. Getting a bit worried over the striker search here. Can't be bothered with late signings. No pre-season, slow start, rubbish incoming. That we can't be. There will be some. You've got to accept there will be some late signings. Probably loans, because that's the market we have to operate in, and probably people we would like to have in now on loan are still being assessed by their clubs. So I think, but there will be some. It'd be naive to say, nah, there won't be any, it'll all be done. But Oliver says Daniel Jefferson could be a cheap young backup for Dom. Well, Everton looked at him last year, didn't he? And they were quoted like 12 million for him or something. So, Stephen Burton says sack off the academy and go a B team like Brentford. They got rid of their academy, didn't they?
I don't think you do that. I don't think that's within the. I don't know. I don't think that's not within the history of Everton Football Club, though, is it? That's we've got an under-21 side. What does it do? Doesn't do anything. So you've got to have the players, and also whether you like it or not, those players, if they are sold, make us money. So,
well, then they've got to, haven't they? They've got to start getting rid of them, haven't they? So, yeah. Harry says, Stephen, Brentford B is essentially their under-21s anyway. Well, that's with I think he's gone there, hasn't he? Beckham, Romeo's in their B team now, isn't he? Jefferson wouldn't be cheap, says Wormy. Mike Flynn says, so much is said about a good pre-season. Well, our newbies won't get that at this rate. Yeah. Jack Harrison can play on the right or the left. There's two positions for you. DBB Road Trader. Leon Osman says Ian McPartland. Fair play. Corin says, hello, Ped and Baz, looking forward to the new season, hoping for 10th. Come on, Everton. Yeah. Paul McCarthy says, hi fellas, what's the most impressive part of Bramley Moordock Stadium following your VR tour this week? Look forward to visiting the new ground when back from Perth. Well, the VR bit, to be honest, was just
sitting in a seat.
So you just put the thing on and look around. It does look brilliant. Don't get me wrong, the stadium does look brilliant. It's very obviously, of course it is. It's still very computer.
Yeah,
it's like
in FIFA.
Yeah, like having in the FIFA stadium. That's what it looks like. But when your brain goes, this is actually what we're going to be sat in. It is a bit mad. We just saw all the other elements of like, wow, the bars are going to be and what the actual physical seats are like, the different sizes, different things like that.
That food tasting bit was amazing.
Oh,
it's a real shame we couldn't bring Ned with us.
Yeah, but I mean, he'd
the
love the
food
steak.
tasting bit was unbelievable.
That was the best bit.
Oh,
that was the best bit.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
But
steak
for the steakhouse.
Bit of steak, bit of Chinese. Oh, it was beautiful.
And
it was
the tapas.
It was a trial.
And tapas. It was a trial to show you what's there.
Yeah, John will back us up. He's done it himself. He got a la carte because he's like obviously a bigger level than us.
Alan Carr was there. Alan Carr saved them. Yeah.
You got Alan Carr. What you want? What you want?
Fair play.
We didn't get any food. But we are getting food next time, apparently.
I mean, I did try to, talk us into that. But listen, it's going to be fantastic.
A bottle of water and a coffee.
Did. That is true.
Which meant basically the whole time I was dying to go to the toilet.
Yeah. I went before the tour.
You did, but the problem is, you went, and I felt like I couldn't go. Then it felt like I was. It was like
a big
toilet, but it felt like it was like, oh, a bus has gone. Then I have to go, don't I? Like I thought I can't go.
I went there, and then I had to leave a bit earlier because obviously I was going to watch Zach. So I come out and said to the lad, I'll just have to go to the toilet because I'm going to be stood in the field in the wind for like 90 minutes and there's no toilet. So I went and get on the way out. For more stories about our toilet habits, stay tuned.
It is a good toilet.
That was good.
If you're, I'm not sales pitching you, but if you are interested, go down and do it. It's really good. And we weren't allowed to do any filming simply because they don't want anyone having it ruined for them.
They just want you to go in and experience it. What's really good about it?
Starting the eyes bit was the best.
That was good. Tonight,
Mathew.
I'm gonna be Ned. Don't do it. It was good. It was good. Kevin Murphy says defo agree on the Blue Sox. Absolutely. Daniel says we haven't even got an A team, let alone a B team. Gary Ward says, howdy. Steve Thomas says, I'm turning 43 tomorrow. Hoping you guys could wish me a really happy birthday, Steve. Have a great day, great weekend.
A really good day.
David Green says, worrying if it's true what then we said about Dom and Pat. Worrying if that's true, what then we'll said about Dom and not to panic about our striker options. If what's true, Ellis Sims is going. Well, it's definitely true. He definitely is going. Everton will be bringing strikers in, won't he? Steve Peace says Mitchell Bacher just signed for Atalanta for only €10 million. That's a steal for him. Timothy Weah to Juve for 10 million as well. They've signed him to play right wing back. More proof there's good players out there for cheap. You can spend 60 million and get 5 good players like them at good ages who'll improve your team and make you money rather than spending 35 million on one player and then buying dross. We keep saying it, Steve, don't we? It's there. Tom Newton says, do you think having Deitch is a hindrance to our recruitment due to his style of play and reputation for not giving youth a chance? Personally, I think agents of young players will advise against joining us. Also, people mentioning Cole Palmer, but their clubs want them to go to coaches who play a similar style, such as Brighton and Development Copy. Will Deitch hinder Everton getting players?
No, because ultimately, for the style of manager we need, he's the right manager, and all that other stuff has to just be put to the side for the time being, doesn't it? When you say young players, what do you mean? Do you mean like 15, 16-year-olds? Because surely they'll be attracted in by what's happening at the academy. Leighton Baines and Kevin Felwell will be the people to speak to them to try and get them over the line. The manager mightn't even be the manager by the time they get towards the first team. So I think if someone offers you, if it's someone, Cole Palmer's a different one. If he's got an opportunity to go to Everton or Brighton, you'd go to Brighton. Makes common sense. They play good football. City want them to play in a style that's similar. Pep Guardiola really loves the style they play. They're in Europe. They'll be in the top half. They've got an exciting team at the moment. That's where you want a kid to develop. You don't want them to develop at Everton, of course you don't. But that's an absolute one-off situation, though.
Yeah. Can't look at it like that, can we? He's our manager, so it's irrelevant whether you go, oh, will he hinder or whatever. He could come in and turn us into a really tough side that finishes up if you give him backing each year and they get in Europe, and then you will all be going, well, he's done a really good job.
There's always going to be pros and cons to any manager. You know, we were told Frank Lampard was going to be the guy who's going to attract all people in because they all, you know, they will have idolised him. But he couldn't set a team up to save his life. So
he attracted some players, but it didn't matter, did it? So James says, did they have virtual mouse bars? No, but he should have done. I'm fuming. Anthony McGinty. Hang on, I've got to extract this. I've got to attract it because I was thinking that. I've got to look at this and read this out.
Okay.
Anthony McGinty says Thelwell said to TalkSport that Dom is looking fit for next season and there's no rush for a striker.
He didn't say
Kevin
that.
Thelwell didn't speak
that.
to TalkSport.
He didn't say that whatsoever. There's a dickhead on Twitter, and I don't mind calling him a dickhead. There's a dickhead on Twitter who keeps on putting all fake stuff out, and people fall for the hook, line, and sinker. His name's Mark something.
He's just winding everyone up.
But it's not funny though. No, but it's not though, is it? This is not the time to be winding people up, and I mean that about everybody.
It wasn't. It was a black quote, mate. Don't anything you see on Twitter, just ignore it. It's a black quote. Kevin Thelwell won't speak to Everton TV. He certainly ain't speaking to bleeding TalkSport, is he? Come on. Nick, it was £105, Nick. His kit. It would have been, if he'd have had the biggest of the kids' tops, it would have been 95, but he wanted steak on it. So, but it's cost me a tenner for him to have steak on his kit because he's got to be fair, he's got the small men's, but it's sound on him, and obviously he's growing, so there was no point getting. So yeah, it was £105 for the kit, which is just bizarre. Should be half that, but hey ho. Jesse says, honestly, the Doc on one. Jess, come on. Experience Everton are creating at Bramley Moor is a Rolls Royce. It's exactly what the stadium needs for both football, concerts, and other uses.
No, it is. It is. I was actually thinking about this before. Like, you see a lot of like new stadiums obviously go up, and a lot of them are like prefab, and Everton could have had something like that. It's those little things, isn't it? It's those little things that actually make it an amazing stadium. You know, whether we get to experience those things like in real life or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You've got to have things for everybody that will attract people or give up people opportunity to say, I want to go and do that for a birthday or something. And it's those little things that make a stadium a great stadium, having amazing facilities, whether they are facilities for us, which they should have as the normal match-going people, or facilities for people who are in corporate or whatever. You've got to have all those extra things, because how else are you going to attract people to come for the other stuff? And we spoke about it yesterday. I was really happy to hear that, some restaurants could possibly be open during the week, and again, you might never be able to experience some of that stuff on a match day, but if you get to experience some of that stuff on a non-match day, then that's brilliant, isn't it?
The steak place looks tremendous. Go in the week. Yeah. Take your missus or go to your mates and have a steak in the week, and you see the stadium. It's brilliant. It's tremendous. One of the best things I took away, forget about all the other stuff, the stuff that it's open in the week. It's going to be open. Everton are going to be able to make money on non-match days, and that was the biggest thing for me. Is like, okay, brilliant. The Logue seats or whatever they're called are fantastic, brilliant. Telly in front of you, they're comfortable.
There's only about 12 of them though,
36 doors, and they're all sold. But brilliant. They're great, but that's not for me. I don't want to watch the match like that, but but all the other bits like that with the restaurant, the keeping the fan zone being open after the game with bars available, bars in the stadium being open, so therefore leaving the ground, you don't have to, you've got a reason to hang around them. I'll stay and have a coffee and something, or I'll have a bevy, but if you drink whatever, and let a lot of the crowd disperse, and then I'll go, which means getting away from the stadium would be easier. But a chance, take the money. Like we kept saying in the room, take our money then. It's what you want. If you're going to spend money, make it affordable for people. So what I mean by that is, don't charge £8 a pint in the ground when you can get it for £4 a pint outside the wall. because people will just go outside the wall, won't they? And go to the Bramley-Moore or to go to Murphy's Gym Bar, which I'm sure people will still do that anyway. But you've got to have them options, and there'll be other bars that'll pop up as well. So Everton do have to be competitive there. Mm-hmm. But you know then, as a fan, if you're provided for in that wall, in the fan zone, in the stadium, if you're provided for and it's competitive, then all the money you spend is going back into the football club, which we're all bemoaning that we don't have any money. Well, we can all make that difference, but we're only going to do it when they give us something back. And by giving it back, it is that competitiveness and give us somewhere, facility-wise, that we might want to go and stand and have a drink and have a chat or do whatever. So, what we saw the other day, I think we were both really impressed.
Very impressive.
So
it does it, and it also lifts it off the pages. I know you can see a stadium getting built down there, but it is that extra stuff as well that just brings it off the page a little bit. That makes you go, these aren't waiting for this to be built, and then it's obviously all twin tracked, you know.
And all the sales are going really well, and people have committed to multi-year. I think it's like some of them in like that kind of thing, like have signed 3-year contracts already with to have them for 3. So already people
25 year I heard John Blaine signed up for. Good. 25 years he went for.
Yeah. No, it's good though, because you've got them in, and you know they were at. A lot of them are sold out. 70% of other stuff has gone as well. So it's all going really well. So if you are a Premier member, there's a stadium video on Premier at the moment, which is Barry, the drone dude, Barry
the drone dude.
That should be his name.
Do you think?
I think his name. It's Barry 1878.
Is that just to separate it from you? So, like, if you ever walk into a room, they wouldn't get you mixed up. Well, where's Barry? Well, Barry's over there.
Well,
that's the drone dude.
Now, if you looked, we are similar in height, me and Barry, and hair.
So you're both taller than Ned?
Barry, I think I could stand on Ned's shoulders and he'd be taller than us. No, Barry, Barry. He does call himself, okay. Barry 1878 on Twitter, he does the drone footage. He's done it. And Steve Carlisle, who's an expert in building and engineering stuff, he's been involved. Then too, I've done a video with John. It was good, dead interesting. It's on Premier right now. Check it out if you haven't. Also, if you're a Premier member, we have got a handful of tickets left for tonight's event. So go and get them, they're free. Get yourself down and see everyone. Have a good night. Adam says, as ridiculous as this sounds, I'd sooner have sold Onana than Samuel Smith. Obviously not because he's better, but purely because of the messaging it sends out to young players and sends into the young players who are already here. There would also be no outcry if Onana left, as he was almost bought with that in mind. We can't afford to buy players, and our future players don't want to stay. So with that in mind, you could say we have no future for a long time to come. Okay, all I'll say back to you, Adam, is someone who's been involved with that, the kid's agent's been trying to move him out since Christmas time when Lampard was here. So the kid obviously wanted out because people are in his ear offering him 30 grand a week. We ain't giving that kid £30,000 a week, are we? Or even £20,000 a week for his first contract when others are getting a fraction of that. So it's frustrating, and you're right, it's not great messaging, but if the kid doesn't want to stay and has been offered a big bumper contract somewhere, which is similar to what happened with Lawrence. Emilio Lawrence was offered big money and went. They're going to do it. They'll do it anyway, won't they? You do it at first team level, so he hadn't signed a professional contract with him. It's well within his rights to go, actually, no, go there. Everton have actually done well to get £4 million out the deal, because he could have gone to compensation and he wouldn't have got $4 million for it. So I do agree with the messaging. It's not great. That's something we've got to turn earlier on. We've got to turn that round as quickly as we possibly can. Mick says still no signings. What was going on at this club? Matthew Wilson says, afternoon lads. Liam, starting to come round to the idea of Delhi being given a go this year. If he impresses Deitch, then 10 million actually might save us money. Well, he's only got, the way I've seen a few people going, why hasn't he gone to Saudi? Well, someone's got to want him first, which is normally a big indicator. The thing about it with Delhi is I wouldn't be losing me mind over Delhi. If Delhi's given a go, it's because he's earned a go. And this fella doesn't, as we've seen, doesn't give things out cheaply, to be fair to Deitch. Like, for all his other stuff where you can level at him. If you get a go, you must have worked hard to get a go. So if Dele gets any kind of go, he must have impressed, mustn't he? If he doesn't get any kind of go, it's because he hasn't impressed, and the manager will move him on, or he will just have to suck it up. But I think if he gets a go, it's because he's earned it. And if he earns it, then fair play to him. There must still be talent in there. Will it be the same as what it was at Spurs when he broke in? Of course it won't be. Could he get back to 60-70% of what he was at Tottenham? Possibly. Is that better than what Everton have got? Possibly. So if he gets a go, it's because he's earned it. And I'm all right with that. I'm all right, personally. I'm all right with that. Shouldn't be what we're pinning our hopes on. Absolutely not. But I'm all right. If he earns himself a go, fair play to him. That's my taking on it anyway.
We'll know in a week.
Yeah.
We'll know if he passes the Sean Dyche pre-season first week.
Dele after Saudi. Not Saudi like that. Gives his job. Toffee Chaz says school strike day equals Toffee TV. Fair play to you, mate. John says we may well need to sell to buy first. I'm hoping there'll be some movement. Depends what everywhere's at, doesn't it? Listen, I'm as impatient as anybody. I really am. Deals take time. Again, we're almost 6 weeks behind everyone anyway, because we didn't know what league we were playing in until 6 o'clock on the 28th of May or whatever it was. Other clubs were able to do their stuff in April who knew they were safe. It even seems like Palace. I've seen Palace fans bemoaning they've got no one in, and they've lost Sahar and things like that, and yet they were safe with 5 weeks to go. So we can look and we can be frustrated, and I would never ever say to anybody, you've got no right to be frustrated. Of course you have. I am. I can check my phone, checking messages, messaging people. But we're just where we are, aren't we? I heard until I'm using Liverpool as an example here, but until they signed Sablowski the other day, and they did sign him, they spent 100 million already, so fair play. But I was making a coffee in the kitchen the other day, or washing the dishes before we come in, and it was the day before they signed, the day before it broke, and I heard Dan was doing the thing, and I heard him reading some of the comments out, and he was talking, and he was saying, put it this way, if we get through another 2 or 3 weeks and we haven't signed anyone, then we can start to begin to call this a shambles. And I was thinking, okay, no, a shambles? Is it that No, I get it. I get the standards, but I'm just saying, Liverpool were calling their stuff a shambles. They've already got a player in. Sablowski he obviously signed the next, it was sorted the next day. They'll add another 2, but it was just mad to hear them saying, this is a shambles, and it's like, fucking, I was thinking you wouldn't last 2 minutes as never so.
They're trying to win the league every year, and that's just fact.
Well, they're not.
I know, but they are though. They are. It doesn't matter whether they do or they don't. They are trying to win the league.
We're trying to win the Conference League next year. Well, we are. We've got more likely to get in the Conference.
We're more likely to win a raffle.
We're more likely to get in the Conference League than Liverpool are to win the league next year. Maybe.
I'm not sure about that.
They won't be anywhere near.
They'll try though. They'll try.
Everyone tries. Everyone tries. Don't behave yourself.
That's nonsense.
Behave yourself.
They will try.
Everton don't try, John, to get in Europe.
They don't. There's no one in this room can argue with that Everton have actually tried to try and get into Europe. They're not trying to get into Europe.
So what?
They're just trying to survive.
So the players go out every game and don't try.
But they're trying. But then
so they are trying. So you shot yourself in the foot. No further questions.
Everton are not trying to get in Europe because they've got no chance because the players are not good enough. Everton are not trying to get into Europe. Everton are trying to survive.
I'm not arguing.
No, but that's steady. Because I try in a game means I want to win the league. That's nonsense.
So that's what I would throw that back to you. Liverpool are trying to win the league.
As a football
club, they were about 11th.
As a football club, they are trying to win a.
They're not. They're pretending. They're pretending.
Of course they are.
Get the mic. Get the mic on, John. They're pretending. Aren't they? Just use, go on. Speak into that one, John.
It's not often. It's not often that I agree with Ped, so I thought I should come on and
Thanks,
agree
John.
with him.
Yeah, go on.
Thanks, John.
The proof of the pudding would be, both for the Red Shite and indeed for us and any Premier League club, what have we budgeted for?
Yeah.
Have we budgeted to finish in the top 6, or have we budgeted to finish 17th?
Probably 17.
Therefore, in one version of the words, we're not trying. to finish in the top 6 because we're not budgeting for the top
But
6.
Liverpool aren't budgeting to win the league.
Same, yeah.
Their fans hate them because
Absolutely.
they won't spend the money.
Absolutely.
So
but you have to have pragmatic decision making, okay? Now, that's the agreeing with you, Ped. The disagreeing with you bit is you take these competitions one game at a time. You try your damnedest to win every game you go out to play, or sadly, depending on us and who you're playing, to lose by as few as you can. But that's still trying, and it's part of a big picture, isn't it? You know, and every single Premier League manager brackets his games about how many points he thinks he's going to get in those brackets. And when they start the season, if they achieve success in the first bracket, then they raise the ante for and so on, and you end up further and further up the league.
John, I absolutely agree with you, right? But if I took my car on a track now against Lewis Hamilton in a Formula 1 car, I'd try and beat him, but I ain't.
But you're talking about trying.
What you
would
said
be
to
trying.
me, what you said, no. What you said, if you'd have said to me, "There's no way we can win the league," I would agree with you. But trying every time you put a kit on, you go out and try and win. So where are you talking about? You're talking about the team. You're talking about the club.
The whole football club. This football club isn't trying to win the league. That football club is trying to win the league. And that's fine. But that's fine. That's standard.
I believe they're trying to get in the top 4. I do believe that the budget to chase the top 4. They're not trying to win the league because if they were, they'd blow all sorts of money.
I think they are trying. There's just the difference is they have decided and have decided for many years that nobody can outspend Manchester City, so they have to do it a different way. Very much like we have to do it a different way.
Spending the money. Arsenal trying to win the league.
But maybe they've got the money to spend. Liverpool have decided they haven't got the money to spend.
So they can't. They're not trying to win the league.
Well,
they're trying to finish as high as they can.
But they've won the league doing that, though.
It was an anomaly. Leicester won the league, but Leicester weren't trying to win it. Liverpool winning the league was an anomaly.
Well, it was. No, hang on.
It was. It was won in a COVID season.
Hang on. You can't say it's an anomaly when the same team finished above 90 points on 3 other occasions, or certainly 2 other occasions. So
they must have been trying.
So as a football club, they were trying to win the league. But that's just standards. That just comes back to standards. That's a football club, and its fans having standards. Our football club decided a long time ago it didn't want to have standards, and John just said it there about budgeting. Every player, of course, puts a shirt on and says, "I'm going to do my absolute most today." But if those players aren't top level players, then their best is only going to be a certain level, isn't it? I'm not questioning the players. I mean, I'll wait till the season. but certainly, I'm not. Look at Arsenal. You've just mentioned Arsenal. They're the most pissiest fans about. They're worse than anybody.
No, I'm not. I wasn't holding either club up. I was saying, no, you were full. We weren't trying. I was saying, well, they will try.
But we aren't.
Those players, as a group of players, will try to get in
that's their
and
job.
Finish as high as possible.
That's their job.
The reality is they won't be good enough because we haven't got the tools to do it. And that's the same way I believe Liverpool won't be good enough to win the league because they haven't got the tools to do it.
They won't win the league. Of course they won't win the league. But they'll try.
Fair enough. Leave it there. Evertonian Walker says greetings from Brisbane, Australia. Any news on a strike? There are a lot of Aussies. Welcome, boys.
John, we had
we're not.
It's the biggest load of nonsense in the world, the Ashes. It's worse than the tennis. It's worse than...
Tennis is all right. I like tennis.
That's why I said it was worse.
All right. I like
tennis. It's nonsense. And the reason it's nonsense before you jump on and say anything, John, is because the amount of people who get all crying and upset over something that they don't care about for the other 2 years.
We had a good laugh on Nana Tava last night.
What's going on with Bazball and in the spirit of the game? No,
it's not to do with me. Why am I getting dragged in? Who's this Baz?
It's the other Baz.
Who's this Baz? I keep hearing Bazball. I'm like,
oh my God. Oh, it's not in the spirit of the game. There's no such thing as a spirit of the game. There's the rules and nothing else matters. For fucking sake. What's Bazball?
It is why the Australians are up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
What's Bazball? What's Bazball? I thought that's what I have the kids doing on a Sunday.
No, going on about Bazball's amazing, and then some. Oh, that's all I keep hearing. And I was like, what the fuck, Bazball?
Any game that has things like silly mid-off involved in it.
We said this yesterday. How elitist is a sport that they all wear white? That means clearly that they've got servants who can wash their clothes.
Yeah. You can't. Have you ever tried to get a grass stain out of something white? It's hard. Exactly. It's 2 washes, or you've got to get the spray on first.
Yeah.
it can be difficult.
How elitist is a sport that goes for tea?
Afternoon tea. You get scones and cream.
How elitist?
It's not scones. It's scone, cream, scone, and a cup of tea
and as we said
in the middle of it.
Last week said yesterday. Last week they were all moaning about equality, and then they let a few people in for 25 quid and blame them for fucking calling people out. Honest to
and
God.
we get to drink bevies watching it. We can't as football fans.
Exactly.
Someone gets to drink bevies while playing it.
Honestly.
Bad. Something's happened.
That should have been the last minute of the show. That it would have been.
Something's happened. We are going to finish. No, I'm just saying it. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Jesse, Melbourne, Australia here, loving the Ashes too with a crying face.
See, but the thing about it is, I know the Aussies love it. So that's the difference. That's their sport, isn't it? I understand that. That's their sport. That and rugby union. I get that. You can have that. That's safe. But the cry-asses in this country, behave yourselves. You just don't care for 2 years, and then you come back and think you just know everything about Barstow and the fella looks a little bit like me, who you all hated a couple of years ago when he was in a big Barney and he was getting put in prison, and now he's everyone's mate. Behave yourselves.
Oh, he is. John Terry said Liverpool are light years ahead of Everton. I don't remember anyone saying they weren't, John. I don't remember anyone saying they weren't, mate. Blues says, what's a bigger sport for Tories, cricket or croquet? And Dan says, can we get Pedder's annex? He just doesn't like cricket. We had a better one last night. On Round the Tap was funny. It was funny. Adam says, imagine a Scouse cricket player. Scouser in the middle of it. Afternoon tea. Fucking messing you, lad. See, lad.
Junior school I went to was the second best cricket team in the
I'll be honest.
Michael Branch used just hit it.
Quarry, but we did play cricket.
Jazz's brother was unbelievable at footy and unbelievable at cricket.
Was he, yeah?
And then just buggered off the blue coat and became some mad executive for Pizza Hut.
Fair play to him. I wanted to play footy or cricket. John Jones says Purcell. I don't know, Purcell, maybe.
Purcell?
No, now. The grass stains
now
out.
It's fine. We're talking back in the days. I'm saying, like, let's
get the grass stains out.
Yeah.
Purcell.
Like anyone had white clothes 100 years ago and could spare them to play cricket in them.
Fair play. Paul says,
the mangle.
Scouse Blues are all over Aussie, Ped.
I know.
Yeah. Barry Pieces, maybe Everton should move into cricket. Maybe we should. I just don't know whether we'd be any good at it, though. We wouldn't be able to afford it.
Haven't they played cricket at West Ham's ground?
Do Everton? We look like they have a couple of performances. Well, they look like they should have been playing cricket, although they didn't catch anything. Toffee 2 says, lads, did you get the chance to ask about increasing the stadium capacity?
Oh, yeah, Baz.
I did. Every time I see them, they get old. Every time. And what I did say...
Baz was measuring the seats.
I measured the seats and everything. I was fuming, mate. Honestly, I was fuming. I sat in the seat, mate. I don't need a seat this big, and no one does. He was just laughing. But the thing I did say was, listen, if you blacken me, you can't get it to 55. I'm not accepting you can't put 113 extra seats in to take it over 53. I said, I honestly am not having it for 1 second. And they took it on board. Because it's the psychological, it's stupid in one respect. The psychological thing is, for 113 seats, you'd have it over 53,000. Just make it sounds better to me. Then you can give it the old, when the rail seating's properly in and we can get it up to 60, brilliant. Get the 53, 113 seats. Come on. Do it. Give up some of those telly seats and put a few more in there. Do it. KSI says, anyone feel like we're just limping along at an alarming and slow, painful pace until we get to the stage? Well, we are, mate, to be fair. We are really, we are trying to just survive, aren't we? But I think if we, like I said before, if we get the forward acquisitions that we're after, I think we'll be all right this season. I'm not saying we'll be brilliant because we won't be, but I think we'll be okay. So we're very much the way Iwobi was okay. Yeah. I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Adam Galloway says, do you reckon Dyche will play Patterson and Branthwaite in the same back four? It's up to them to force it, isn't it?
Branthwaite's got a slight disadvantage, isn't he? Because he'll come back late. But it's a long season.
Yeah.
Long season.
Definitely.
Would you rather, hang on.
Go
We'll put it this way. Would you rather have a back four that contained Patterson and Branthwaite than Tarky, Keane and Seamus?
Oh, okay.
And I'm not being audible, Seamus there. I'm just talking about his age.
Age-wise, I'd rather have the younger ones, personally, just because that gives you the chance to grow. Ruben says, I saw Delhi was the first back of Finch Farm and apparently has private message Deitch about wanting another go. So
is he sleeping there?
Possibly.
Private that everybody knows.
Yeah. Edie Amin says cricket is just posh rounders.
Oh, isn't that baseball? Isn't rounders posh baseball though?
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, it wasn't my comment.
I'm gutted we never got to go to a baseball game when we were in America. If we'd got there a day before, like we should have, then we could have.
And we were initially going to stay in New York, and we could have done, couldn't we? As it happened, because we didn't. We were promised we were getting a sit down in the hotel with Frank Lampard.
Imagine actually believing
I know.
that, though.
But that changed that course, though, didn't it? It changed course, didn't it? Because we could have been in New York, and then we could have gone to the derby, which was on the Sunday.
It was,
Red Bulls against New York City. So thank you, Evan, letting everybody.
Joe's going he's going to see the Yankees, isn't he?
Who?
Joe from the Redmen. He's going to see the Yankees when he goes to New York.
Oh yeah. Big Joe.
I'd love a bit
but
of that.
not as big Joe now because he's lost 2 stone.
He's lost loads of weight.
So fair play to him. You too can lose weight if you do the Joe diet. There you go. We're going to be
exercise
and
also
calorie
he stopped being vegetarian. He stopped being vegan and started eating meat, and he's lost 2 stone.
That's it, because you're eating the right nutrients. Right, we're going to be live on More Than a Game at 2 o'clock. Get over there. It's only 8 minutes. Get a drink. Get refreshed. We'll be discussing all of the football on there. Get over there. AU. Be good. See you in a bit. Bye.